Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to a very StanDART-ish tank, the T-72A, new rank 6, battle rating 9.3 Soviet main battle tank, and it is very similar to the T-64A. Very typical Russian armor layout, gun handling characteristics, again a 125mm auto-reloading gun that fires very high muzzle velocity-ish APFSDS, so the tank itself is very StanDART-ish and it fires a lot of darts, hence the title StanDART tank. I think it's self-explanatory. So what is the tank very roughly like? Well, it is a good sniper, I give it that. Very consistent good sniper, and then it is not so great anymore. So you can see the mobility, not the best top speed, reverse gear only -4 km/h. The traverse has no neutral steering and hence is therefore really slow in comparison, only 3 crews. We can see the ammunition carousel here, very easy to hit with a side shot. One shots are not the exception, but more on the regular side. The armor, well, we have here 80mm and the turret is not bad armored as well. You're not that paper versus SPA, but if it comes to the composite armor on the front, it's just the upper frontal glacis and here at the turret cheek, so you might want to angle the turret. The weaknesses are obviously, as you can see here, the cutout part on the driver's hatch, also the area around the gun mantle, notoriously weak, so with every tank you just shoot directly under the gun and you do immense amounts of damage, if not even one-shot this tank. Do not angle it at all, except the turret a little bit, because then they might just be want to shoot here, and that can actually absorb a lot of the incoming shells. So this is the secrets to it. Let's have a quick look at the stock grind. Your stock HE is actually a meme by itself. If it works, it's really cool to shot trap an enemy tank and let it explode violently, even the Abrams. But the muzzle velocity, it is not that easy to hit, and if you miss that shot, you do literally no damage. You might want to go for gun barrels, then side shots as well. Then your stock APFSD has the 3BM9, very high muzzle velocity, actually has the best penetration value at 60 degrees angles of attack, while which is in this case positive normalization because only 310mm of raw penetration and very easy to lead. Then the 3BM12 as a tier 2 and the 3BM15 as a rank 4 or tier 4 upgrade. There you can see it doesn't have the penetration value at 60 degrees angle of attack, but the raw penetration goes up to 440mm. Then the tier 1 Heat FS shell with 440mm is kind of meaningless at this battle rating. A lot of tanks have composite armor and era protection that excel in protecting versus heat. So it's all about APFSDS, your standard Soviet ammunition tank layout, hence StanDART-ish tank. Let's go into battle and let's see what the bad boy actually can do and why I love this tank, because it has some character. So the first scenes of a few is actually here on some sniping adventures, and you can see I'm observing here the ridgeline. I see already some tanks moving in. I tried to go into this little dip here. Yes, I prefer to play here on the southern part of the map, and that was an incredible snipe. We just saw the very little top of the tank, but the decent stabilizer together with the very fast muzzle velocity and the good scope allows us to snipe here the MBT. But I'm not done yet. Well, at least with sniping the enemy, and I hit the Abrams over and over again. Now the very important lesson here is that I am here hull down in visual cover, and I move here my turret, I wiggle it always a little bit to just distract here the enemies. I take out their gun barrel and gun breaches over and over again. I'm a pain in their, well, crosshair, and they want to get rid of me, and there is not one, not two, but actually 3 Abrams that try to snipe me, and I'm very annoying to them, you know. They try to rack up here the kills. Meanwhile, my team was able to contest B. They still are fighting over A. C is currently not contested by our team, but one tank is actually zeroing in on it. And yeah, meanwhile I'm hull down, I'm moving. They cannot really pinpoint my location, and I just harass them, make it very difficult here. Please note, this is the stock ammunition that I use here. I could switch here to the number 3, where it is the 3BM15 that might punch right through the Abrams turret. But I tried to figure out how the tank is with the stock shell. In a nutshell, it's actually not bad. Could be worse. And again, we annoy them here. We make their life difficult. And it doesn't cost me anything because the stock APFSTS is free. So, because the 3BM15 costs 900 silver lions per shot, I'd rather have only 5 of them. Currently I try to maximize my silver line gain at every single battle rating with everything that I've got. Some of you might be aware of my quote-unquote silver line problems, and I try to maximize it here with this patch. So yeah, I preoccupied them for a few more minutes, and this is what I wanted to show you. The next thing is, one of the many things that I had to deal with today was that the server had a lot of micro lags, micro freezes, shells just disappear, and the overall situation here is irrelevant to the topic, aside from the plane just bombing me. And I tried to shoot here the Abrams that just tries to flank through the middle. My team has suffered a lot at the hands of Abrams, and then that just went right through the entire middle of the enemy tank, and well, that's it. Now we get a registering hit in again with the stock shell. No, in this case it was the 3BM15 that I tried out, and then we got one shot in return. So yeah, one shell just simply disappeared, and we had to pay the price for this because we were just preoccupied shooting at this. The next thing is how to take out a helicopter with style. So my APFSTS misses, and then I see that the Alouette is aiming for me. I pop the smoke, and I still can see here the front window because advanced Gaussian graphics. I shoot here with the machine gun, I see him, and we hit him once, and that's an instant pilot snipe. Oh my god, is that satisfying. So the top mounted 50 cal is important, but I switch to HE, and then the last enemy, we actually track him and splash the gun breach inside of the tank. So that tells you quite a lot about the strength, and the second HE shell just finishes him off, bypassing the armor here for my 5th kill. Now the next thing is we start here again on Poland, again from the southeastern spawn, and I go directly very aggressively towards C. Now I remembered the previous scene and obviously wanted to observe here the sniper ridgeline, but spoilers, it did not really happen here. Nevertheless, I want to show you the battle from the very start to the very finish of this tank, and we can see that the ridgeline is 1400 meters away. That's not a lot on here the lines of the aiming crosshair, that's correct. And you can see again the tank is not too bad. Despite the horsepower to ton ratio, we're doing nearly 50 kilometers per hour, which is not bad, to be honest. I like the speed and it feels refreshing. The tank has a feeling of being alive. It doesn't feel as dead as the M60A1 DC Ariete, and it is also not as limited as the Shotcal Dalet. To compare this to previously reviewed tanks, remember this is only first impressions, but in typical Soviet fashion, I think the ground resistance or the ground pressure from the tracks seem to be very much in its favor. And so I just move on very aggressively, very risky gameplay. Don't try this at home, kids. You mostly only get farmed. This is just trying out various different playstyles, and let's see how this goes. Now, there is an Abrams, we see it, and we take careful aim, and we punch right through the side of the turret and knock out with very good dispersion the 3 crew members of the turret. But it required an angle. Meanwhile, we captured the zone, and I just plow on, I just move on, not giving a damn about the scenes to follow up. Again, very, very risky, very, very aggressive playstyle. At any time somebody could spawn in the enemy team's southern spawn, but I just couldn't resist that shot. Oh yes! Again, an ammo rack, and that was a satisfying explosion on the MBT-70. So here I popped another smoke and tried to figure out Is he respawning? Is somebody coming for me? Do I distract here the enemy? Nothing happens. I just couldn't see anything. And in this gameplay I was really impatient. Now, please observe the minimap. Our team has B and C. Now to our left nothing has flanked. I checked the replay. And our team is zeroing on A. However, in the middle of the city a lot of fights are going on. I look here now into the city. I want to go behind the castle and to go around the lake to help my team in the city fight. Maybe surprise a few Abrams from the rear and just disable them or outright kill them. With a good selection of the finest AP FSDS and HE shells that the Russians have available. B gets contested, we look into it, and again this Abrams has no idea where we are, he doesn't expect us. And again we get a nice fancy crew knockout. Good stuff right there. He actually had was one crew member down. Again it's an XM1. So, and then B still gets contested, so I swing the tank around in an uncommon fashion. Where are you? And watch this. We hit the ammo in the back of the turret and it cooks off and nothing happens to him. He's still alive. He captures now B. I expose here now the side of my tank, try to move on, but from nowhere, and I mean literally nowhere, look at where this guy is on the other side of the lake. The Abrams mobility is just outright hilarious, or XM1 or IPM1. Now another very aggressive push is, again, this one. C got captured behind me, so there was nothing that I could do. I wanted to support the fight on B. There was some tanks popping up. There is now again an American tank. You just see nothing but them. Honestly, that's what you face all day, but Abrams is so bad. And then we just get his cannon breach and heavily damage the gun barrel. Now he tries to reverse, we aim here for the lower glacis and we get a non-pen, again stock ammunition. We load the HE because he cannot fight us and he wants to retreat, but you're not Frenchy, and back of the turret we knock him out, and that was an Abrams being killed. Seconds later we had to pay the bill. Okay, let's move on. That is again a very aggressive move. Again I pushed from the northern spawn into the direction of B, made a hard left turn behind this rock, and I'm already again behind enemy lines. High tier maps with high tier speed, they just do not fit. I have no idea what is there. I hear some tanks right next to me. They love to snipe from this, well, sniping location. There is a TAM, there you can see the very slow elevation speed. That is a TAM. And he just disappears in cover before I could do anything about it. I don't know if he has spotted me and if he will come for a revenge shot. So I have to reposition. And the best defense is attack. So we move on. And I want to now, well, encircle the enemy, at least from my side. And let's see what we can do. This position is very prominent for having a lot of campers, a lot of, well, carefully playing top-ranked players. I observe here the usual other second line sniping zones. Nothing is there to be seen. This can change at any moment. And we see some action going on. So, what do we have here? There you can see the only 6 degrees of gun depression, type 74. And we one-shot him. Good stuff right there. What I did not observe here is the right side of this location. We see some action going on B. And we no-scope here the DC Ariete with actually an ammo rack. There is now the L44 Premium, and we pull his gun breach. We load an HE to finish him off, and we splash the turret down. Good stuff. But he actually has marked us. I see still some action. I do not expect anything to appear anytime soon. This is now a triple strike. I need to move on very aggressively. Please note, those are the very best examples. I'm not showing here the usual gameplay. In this case, it's before I could finish up the second Type 74, the Premium L44 finished me off from the rear with a heat shell. So, did I overlook him? Did he get in this position very fast? I don't know. This battle again is now the last battle that I want to show you, and it is on the desert map. I spawn here on the western side on the open terrain. It reminds me of Kursk, or Kursk if you're insisting of the American or British pronunciation. I have a lot of ridgelines to advance unseen. I do not think that a lot of enemy players will take this side, which is in my favor. 2 teammates are going with me, but they are closing in directly on A. I want to go for the wider flank, and I want to use a bit of the asymmetry of the map. I don't know if that is the right word, but I try to go behind enemy lines, and you will see my way. So first of all, I go down directly south, try to use here the rocks where usually another capture zone is as cover to orientate myself. Where are the enemies? What's going on? And can I actually try the dangerous push and then surprise the enemy from the side? Again, I have a very good scope. Even the helicopter is more focusing here on the eastern hemisphere of the map. And yeah, we can see that we can see nothing. No campers so far. Not a lot of action going on. Some weird smoke shells that appear out of nowhere. A gets contested, and there we can see what looks like an XM1. Okay, I don't know what happened to this shell. Did I overlead? But then there would be the, the dust being kicked off from the impact. But at least we get here a nice kill assist, and we prevented here the capture of A. Okay, so let's move on very aggressively. Very good, the T-72A sniped here the helicopter with an ATGM. That's always satisfying. I love the smell of burning helicopters in the morning. And we move on, we move on. I have absolutely, to this point, no idea where the smoke is coming, so I want to investigate. A gets now again contested by the enemies, so I need to hurry up to look behind enemy lines and to just strangle their resupply. It's not really spawn camping, but it's just a map design. At some point you just have to look into this direction. So I actually saw here the Abrams, but I don't want to scare him away. This is a very risky gameplay. Now the shot Carl Dalet was removed with 1 shot. That was very important. Seems like he has received a previous shot. Then there is also the Bradley. And I range from him while I reload with an HE shell, and I want to finish him off with a hull break. And either he spotted me or this Abrams saw the explosion. He instantly reacts. He shoots my tracks. I was wiggling the tank. I don't range find him here, and I knock him out with 1 shot. It was actually the XM1. The way that he reacted me tells me that he either was in a squad or he observed the minimap. I don't know, but he reacted very quickly. Okay, what else have we here? What is that? Is that a Conqueror? Hello, good sir. Maybe you want to talk about proper ammunition. It is called APFSTS. With twice your reloads. That shell went right through the tank without doing anything. Please keep that shot in mind. And now we aim for the ammunition on the driver. There we go. Good shot. Good stuff right there. So before I contest here the Abrams on the sniping ridgeline, which is beloved by some players, I want to actually go to the rock right in front of my tank. I think my team has here used the advantage, and watch that shot. Yeah, an enemy was shooting me and he failed to hit me, and then he smokes himself up. Okay, I'm fine with this. I want to go into hard cover where then I can dictate the further engagements. So I look to this tank. Let's try to hit him here. Nah, that was not enough lead. I didn't take the momentum of my tank here into account. Noobish mistake. And then we drift into cover with style. Come on, handbrake turn. Yes. Good stuff. We actually overturned, so that is risky. And then we punch right through the turret. I actually switched here to the 3BM 15 to just finish off this guy. And it was an XM1 again. Very, very uncommon tank. And then, out of all the tanks, it kills, a Magar kills me with APDS. And watch that shot. Pans my sights and hits 1 little propellant charge. Because I don't have a blowout panel, that's the end of me. Okay. So I like the tank. I think it has a lot of character. that is a personal opinion. In the direct comparison to the usual opponents, it's not really that great. Those were the best gameplays that I achieved over the course of one day, so take this into account. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this presentation, what you think about the tank, the high tier meta. Do you looking forward to research this tank, or is it just one of many for you? And we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.